We love talking about travel here on the program. Now, this is actually a channel I'm familiar with. We've reacted to some of their content before. Itsuka, Japan. Popular tourist destination. You may recognize this from the Yakuza series of video games. This is the Don Quixote in Dotonbori in Osaka, Japan. Rather famous one. I think that's the one. Yes. Yes, it's the Dotonbori Osaka Don Quixote. Rather famous for its iconic look on the exterior. Some people might wonder, what in the world is this, aside from a rather interesting bit of advertising for Don Quixote? But this right here, this whole framed yellow structure, it's a Ferris wheel. It's a Ferris wheel. And I believe you can still ride it too. So you can enjoy medical shopping on the ground floor here in Dotonbori, Osaka. And then take the friends, take the family, take your bird. That's your wife or your girlfriend, for those of you who don't understand British slang, on a Ferris wheel ride. All in one location. Quite convenient. Quite convenient. Quite convenient. So let's take a look at this. From Itsuka, Japan, Don Quixote Ferris wheel, Japan's most unique Ferris wheel, riding the 180-degree rotating oval gondola. It's not just a Ferris wheel, chat. It is an oval gondola. 3, 2, 1, go. And there it is up close. Look at that. Hella views. The world's first oval-shaped Ferris wheel inside Don Quixote. You know you're in Osaka when you see the Glico running man. Just an institutional visual icon of Dotonbori and of Osaka. When you think Osaka, you think of this image right here, which has just been up forever and ever. We'll enjoy a unique aerial experience. We start in Dotonbori, amongst the hustle and bustle of the crowds here. I mean, you see as all of this should look familiar to you if you have played any of the Yakuza games from, say, Yakuza 2 or Yakuza Kiwami 2 onwards. All of this will look familiar because all of this is modeled in-game. This time we're taking a ride on that quirky, unusual Ferris wheel that we saw earlier. And there it is. Oh yes, lots of tax-free shopping to be done there at Don Quixote. You might be wondering, is this really a Ferris wheel? It doesn't look like a Ferris wheel, mainly because it's not shaped like a circle. That's the neat part. It doesn't have to be shaped like a circle in order to be a Ferris wheel. This is the Dotonbori Ebisu Tower. It is a Ferris wheel in a building, in a large shop. And you look closely enough, yes, it is rotating. Most Ferris wheels tend to rotate rather slowly. For a moment I thought that was Hideo Kojima on the screen. I'm sure even he makes his way to Osaka from time to time. But unlike the typical circular Ferris wheels, this is the world's first oval-shaped Ferris wheel. A real proof of concept chart. It started operations back in 2005, so going on 20 years now, simultaneously with the opening of this Don Quixote Dotonbori store. Much of this, you may notice a bit of a difference if you play, say, Yakuza 0 versus Yakuza Kiwami 2, that some of these decks, for example, they weren't there back in the 80s. And I believe Don Quixote wasn't even a thing back in the 80s. So they tried to keep everything period accurate. A lot of this is fairly recent developments in the past 20 or so years as a way of sort of revitalizing the Dotonbori area, the canal area, cleaning everything up, and turning it into a very attractive, very popular tourist destination in Osaka. When you go to Osaka, I mean, it's almost a given. You have to go to Dotonbori. Right. You do need a ticket to ride the oval Ferris wheel. Let's go buy our tickets. I believe that, yeah, there's the ticket office somewhere over there. So, find a bridge, cross over it. Here we are. Jump cut through the magic of television. 900 to 1,000 yen per person. So, just under $10 US. And the ride is approximately 15 minutes. Not bad. Less than $1 a minute. One of those things you do once just to say you did. And looks like it's a cash-only business. No credit cards accepted. So bring cash. The character that you've seen, especially the blue one with a little center cap, is Donpin. This is the mascot of Don Quixote. I forget the name of the pink one. It's supposed to be, I think, his BFF or his girlfriend or something. There is a lift inside the store, so you can take the lift to get up. But I guess Itsuka-san wanted to get the steps in, so we're taking the stairs. Don Quixote Ferris wheel built not just as a shopping destination, but to turn the area into an amusement facility to liven up the city. It's safe to say, I think they've succeeded. We've got even more variants of the Donpin character waiting here at the entrance. That's a cute display. Good. Pure gold. I love gold. Right, hand your money off to the attendant. Staff prepares everything for you. They're the ones who man the machines. They're the ones that hand you your tickets. Nice little bit of Japanese hospitality there. And what's all that? You've got normal ride tickets. Then you've got the Osaka Amazing Pass. Don't know what that is. And then you can also enter the Donpin Lottery. Possibly some sort of lucky bag thing? Not sure. Could be wrong on that. And then it looks like for, I guess it's supposed to be for 500 to 1,000 yen, you can get an acrylic keychain capsule toy. Little souvenir. Oh. Yeah, if you're pregnant, no rides for you. Keep that in mind, chap. Don Quixote is the name of a character from a series of Spanish novels from about 1605 to 1615. Yes, and I think the spelling's a bit different on the Quixote part. At this point, I would say it's probably more of a decorative English thing than anything else. Cameraman did not see any of the Japanese visitors besides... Oh, this is an absolute... I wouldn't go so far as to say that, well, might be a bit of a tourist trap, but might not. Primarily something these days for... Yeah, it's mainly something for the tourists, not for the Japanese. Age 3 to 6. Have to be accompanied by an adult. No pregnant customers. Wait time, approximately 10 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. Got lucky charms here that can represent longevity, wish for longevity, for a good relationship between a married couple. You can also find lucky charms of a doggo that can ward off evil spirits or wish for children's growth. And I guess these are the sorts of acrylic capsule toys or lucky bag prizes or examples of previous merchandise. The many different types of Donpin that cover the walls. God's incarnation, increased luck with money. Symbol for prosperous business. The Ferris wheel Ebisu Tower features two world-first technologies. The oval-shaped rail structure and the rotating seat, which makes sense. They would have to be rotating because at some point they would just, you'd be upside down, and more motion sensitive types would probably lose their lunch quite frequently. Not particularly high, but can be a bit scary for those with weaker constitutions. This Ferris wheel is not a suspended type seen in a typical Ferris wheel. This quote-unquote Ferris wheel, which always turns around outside of the rail, therefore internal gondola always stays horizontal. It is controlled. Unlike general Ferris wheel, I will ride the safety bar and fix the body and get on. Was that a promise, or is that a line we're supposed to say? Difference in spelling comes from how the name was rendered into Japanese hiragana, which is where most Japanese pop culture referencing the character gets its spelling of the name from. Ah, interesting. Indeed, it is a world first. It's also at least partially open air. But then again, most of that I think is facing the wall. But yeah, you see on the frame there, the seats do rotate. They rotate from side to side, and they also turn round. Store chain has branches. Oh, we do a commemorative photo, and you can purchase it afterwards. Yeah, fairly typical tourism stuff. Store chain has... You can accommodate up to 4 people at once. Store chain has branches in Singapore, Malaysia, Macau, Guam, mainland China, Taiwan, Indonesia, Thailand. Yeah, I think they might even have at least they used to have a location in Hawaii. Does make sense. Something as popular as this would stretch out to regional, even global operations. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's turning round. Seats are rotating. And now we got that view. Can do a 180-degree rotation and also stabilize from side to side. How cool is that? Panorama views of Dotonbori. There's a lot to see there in just one canal area, one riverfront area. So much densely packed. Oh, and they're also air-conditioned. That's convenient, and probably quite the relief, especially in those hot summer months. And believe me, the further south and west you go in Japan, the worse that heat gets. It really does start to feel like tropical climate. And it literally is tropical climate once you get to Okinawa. Let's see, Abino Haruka's over there. That particular building is at 300 meters tall. Not sure if that's... I guess that's supposed to be an office building of some kind. It's an older Ferris wheel. Might make some creaking sounds from time to time. As expected, 20-year-old structure. You hit it there. Maximum height 77.4 meters. There was a mechanical malfunction discovered back in 2008. They shut this thing down for 9 years while they worked on it. And they brought it back after so many tourists requested its return. So after renovating it, reopened to the public back in 2018. It's got a shape unlike other Ferris wheels as mentioned, so maintenance is a challenge. But, I mean, you look at the queue to get on, I'm sure they can make up the difference somehow. Definitely one of those things you really should do it once, just to say you did. And as we approach the time to disembark, you see here the seats rotating 180 degrees once more. Sort of a slow and gradual way of bringing you back to reality. Must be a hot day. You see that portable aircon unit there. Quite the hidden gem, this one. And that is some loud creaking and groaning. And this is inside the actual shop of Don Quixote. Once you get off, you're just surrounded by everything donkey. That's sort of the shorthand version of referring to Don Quixote. They just call it donkey. You can go straight in after you get off the Ferris wheel. Go straight in for shopping. It's always festive and fun, no matter what location you visit. Whether it's a standard Don Quixote or the Mega Donkey, lots of snacks, lots of plushies, lots of tchotchkes and trinkets. There's Mario, there's Pokemon, there's Sanrio. They play the hits. Every shop. Lots of snacks. You can get your Pocky, your giant Pocky, Meiji almonds, macadamia nuts. 6 floors of this chart. 6 floors. Mostly catering to foreign tourists. Barely any Japanese being spoken here. That's a bit odd. I mean, the one I went to, and the Don Quixote I went to in Ikebukuro, it was nothing but Japanese. Most everywhere. I find that interesting. Even though Itsuka-san is in Japan, feels like they've come to a donkey location in a foreign country. I mean, they know who their target market is. A lot of these sorts of snacks, foreign tourists, they eat this stuff up. There's also a Dunpin lottery, guaranteed stuffed toy for 600 yen per play. So 600 yen, you're walking away with some sort of plushie. Everyone's a winner. And they're all cute. Look at that. No matter what, you win. No losers with this game. There's also capsule toy machines. They feature the Don Quixote Ferris wheel. We saw signs advertising that earlier. 500 yen per play. Not bad. Not bad. Right. We're going to try the capsule toy. We're going to play the gacha. Let's go gambling! Capsule toys come in 2 types. Keychain or acrylic stand. I'd probably opt for the acrylic stand myself. Rather like those. Cameraman chose the keychain this time. Next up, the lottery. Sure, draw a raffle ticket. We pulled a 7. Oh! Got the gold one. Very nice. Yo, win! Perfect! They got one of the good ones. Had a gold and a silver one. Fortune was on Itsuka-san's side today. Well done. Yeah. Nice little scale replica of the real thing. Right. Lunchtime. Time to feed a face. As we watch little dancing Chinese dragons. This time we are going to Itsuka-san's all-time favorite takoyaki shop. That is one of the big things when you find yourself in Osaka. Try the takoyaki. We're arriving at Takoyaki Doraku Wanaka. That is the name, Chad. I did not have a stroke just now. Popular takoyaki shop with long queues, popular amongst both the locals and the tourists. Does look delicious. Ever since Itsuka-san first tried their takoyaki, it's been their favorite. And that's what they do all day. They've got those molds. They butter them up, pour in some dough, add in a little bit of the roasted octopus, another layer of dough, rotate them with chopsticks quickly, and hey, presto. You can get a whole plate. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 balls of takoyaki for 850 yen. That's really not bad. That's roughly $5 or $6 US with current exchange rates, I think. 4 flavors to choose from here. Soy sauce with bonito, those little fish flakes, green onion salt, and mentai mayo. All the different flavors to choose from. You'll never get bored with all this. And it is quite tasty. Piping hot too. It's like eating hot cinders, so be careful. Might let it cool just a bit first before you eat it. Top recommendation from Itsuka-san is the regular takoyaki with the green onion topping. That's a lot of topping. That's just a mound of food. But it's a tasty mound of food. Generous amounts of green onion. I'm going to put some hair on your chest. But it pairs perfectly with that takoyaki. Looks tasty. And it's greens. It's good for you. I'm sure the takoyaki is protein somehow, maybe. I don't know. It tastes good, so just eat it. Enjoy. Now we cut to night. Dotonbori lit up, taking on a completely different vibe from the daytime. The hustle and bustle never stops. It's one of those areas of Osaka that's like Kabukicho in Tokyo. It's sort of a city unto itself in a city that never sleeps. Still got the large crowds gathering in front of Donkey there. I miss Japan. So do I. I want to go back. Desperately so. Oh, and the Ferris wheel even has accent lighting. Gorgeous. Fancy LED lighting. Allows it to change different colors. Love that. Want to visit Osaka one day. So do I. I've never actually visited Osaka before. I mostly kept to the greater Tokyo area and the area around Mount Fuji both times. Really want to go up and visit Hokkaido and Sapporo. Beautiful areas. But I would love to go to Osaka. Osaka and Fukuoka. I'd probably want to do it in the wintertime, though. The weather is so mild down there that it really doesn't get cold like it does in Tokyo, and especially once you get up to Hokkaido. At this point, so many of my colleagues in the space, I mean, I think it was both Rosso and Spider-Bro talking about wanting to go to Japan themselves. I'd love to go back. Damien Damore, another friend and colleague in the space, wanting to go to Japan. At this point, we might need to do a lads trip. I'm sort of thinking if we're all wanting to go, might be time for a lads trip. Might be time for a lads trip. Just throwing it out there. Okonomiyaki is my favorite dish next to Wagyu. It is quite tasty. Oh, it's fun to make too. Now, let's see, what did we miss here? Oh yes, the Dotonbori river cruise. That's what these boats are for. Very popular. As you can see with the crowds on the boats, they sell out quickly, usually by 7 p.m. So if you're going to purchase tickets, get them early as possible. 2,000 yen per person. For an experience like that, that's really not a bad price. That's like $17, $18 US. They do have daytime cruises too, but all these city lights, it's hard to beat the night cruise. 20 minutes, so roughly 100 yen per minute. I'd say it's worth every yen. The boat, the walkways, it's all packed with people. It's just like the Yakuza games, always crowded. Dotonbori cruise goes back and forth along the river, so you can enjoy the scenery, and there's a lot to see. Everyone taking videos, taking photographs with their phone. It really does feel like stepping into an entirely different world. And it feels like you're stepping into the world of Yakuza, because it is... Dotonbori is quite the faithful recreation. You hear a lot of people speaking English. Definitely something for the tourists. It's not so bad. You're on a boat, got a nice breeze going. Once you get up to speed, we're finally approaching the highlight, passing under Ebisubashi Bridge, and we'll soon see on the left, you can see him off in the distance, but we'll get closer, the Glico Running Man. When the Hanshin Tigers win the baseball championship, everyone jumps into the river from this bridge, which is actually prohibited, but that hasn't stopped them. Hanshin Tigers, popular Japanese baseball team, and I have to say the cheerleading squad. So cute. Very pretty, very cute girls. And there he is, the famous Glico Running Man. As we go further ahead, we see another branch of Don Quixote. You've got Dunpin characters in every window. It's almost like a Don Quixote branded advent calendar. Oh, thank you for the hydrate redeem. Jumping in any sort of public river would be insane. Well, that's the fandom for you. Want to go to those drumming ceremonies, would need enough Google Drive space to save all the pictures, right? The boat goes back and forth, so you get to enjoy the main spots twice. So they give you a double portion. There's 4 companies that operate these Dotonbori cruises. Some offer advanced reservations. I mean, it's worth it. 2,000 yen? That's really not bad. For the 20-minute cruise? Seeing all the sights? Twice in one go? King Cyber 48, thank you for the follow. If they eat all their food or gout, yeah, you're not walking away hungry. And there's lots of yummy food to try over there. Everything from the restaurants, to the food stalls, to food trucks, to the konbinis. It's all delicious. It's all just delicious, and they're obsessed with quality. Jess, thank you for redeeming Not First. Also, hello. Cityscape feels like being inside a theme park. It looks that way, but something to keep in mind, chat. Don't treat Japan like it's some sort of amusement park. This is a sovereign nation. People live here, work here, build their lives here. So as always, be respectful. Be very respectful. Respect the customs, especially respect the laws, respect their traditions. Show respect and deference to the locals, because they live there, that's their home. You are a guest. Hello, Lord Rex, 'tis I, Cyber King. Due to Twitch giving me issues with messages not appearing on chat, I had to resort to using an alt I have saved in case of emergencies. Well, glad you got the alt account working. All these unique neon signs. It truly is a one-of-a-kind world. Bro looks like the boat operator. He just sort of looks like he's seen it all. This is everyday atmosphere to him, almost like it's nothing. What an incredible mural. So captivated by the scenery. 20 minutes, it just flies by in an instant. And you see one disembarking and another one going off again. I heard there's a spot that sells chicken wing gyoza. I'm sure there's a lot of places that sell that sort of thing. Chicken gyoza dumplings? Yeah. Fairly common fare. Easy to find. One thing I was actually recommending to someone who is in Japan at the moment. Trying to remember who it was. One of our fellow members of the X Street Pirate crew, currently on holiday in Japan. We were actually talking about this in VC the other night. Recommended he, if he hadn't already, try the Family Mart fried chicken. Absolute must try, at least once, just to say you did. But also, it's available at Family Mart and also at 7-Eleven. The steam buns. My personal favorites, they've got the pork ones, which is one of the originals. Delicious. They've also got a pizza one. It's like a hot pocket and a warm hug. And I say that in the most complimentary way possible. I think most of, especially in the American crowd, know what a pizza-flavored hot pocket tastes like. Think of that, only better. And without as many chemicals. And in the form of a steam bun. They're delicious. They are the dumplings of the gods. Pair that up with a Atsuki red bean paste dumpling for dessert, you've got yourself a whole meal. I should know because I made a meal out of those before. Used to be my lunch in grade school. Sounds like one hell of a lunch. Would take the pizza dumplings any day. Absolutely. You had me at pizza. Oh, here's the Don Quixote Dotonbori Mido Suji store. Saw that earlier from the boat. Open 24 hours. Many locations of Don Quixote are actually open 24/7, especially in the larger cities like Tokyo and Osaka. You look closely. Got a miniature version of the Ferris wheel attached to the wall. Doesn't look like it moves, but, you know, there it is. Oh, we're now going to go back to the Ferris wheel, and we're going to ride it at night. Now that I think about it, that makes sense. We saw the views during the daytime, but as Itsuka-san mentioned, it's a whole different vibe at night, and it definitely draws more visitors than during the day. No matter how many times you look at it, it just doesn't look like your typical Ferris wheel, and with good reason, because it's not. Nothing typical about this one. A 15-minute aerial journey begins once more. And there we go, turning 180 degrees to face outward to that view. Yeah, it's a whole other world at night. It's like the difference between Metropolis and Gotham City in DC Comics. Only not as grimy and definitely not as crime-ridden, because still largely homogeneous, high-trust society in Japan. Night ride doesn't feel as scary. Probably just because Itsuka's used to it by now. Quite an interesting view, both from the cruise and from the Ferris wheel. Question is, which do you prefer, chat? Both are must-rides. Both you absolutely must experience for yourself. And I have to admit, it is rather fun when those seats rotate 180 degrees like that. It's a clever trick of engineering, but it's cool. It's cool. Oh, hey, speaking of Family Mart, got one over there. Oh, there's a crab place. You can have crab for dinner. And there's a famous Dotonbori sign. That is cool. That is a lot of fun.